In terms of the talk about Chelsea and Liverpool, because we're running out of time, we may be doing that now on the Straight Facts tomorrow instead. Because I want to talk Jamie Vardy, and there's a wider conversation. And where does Jamie Vardy rank in terms of Premier League legends and greats? And we're talking purely number 9 strikers here, not inside forwards like Ronaldo's and Mane's, Salah's, etc. They are exempt from this conversation. It's your central number 9 strikers. He's leaving. He's had a brilliant career, 143 Premier League goals, Premier League winner with Leicester, maybe the biggest underdog story. I know Liverpool try and claim they're an underdog story, fucking idiots. The biggest underdog story in the history of Premier League football. FA Cup winner as well. He's won Player of the Year awards, Golden Boots. But where, gentlemen, do you rank Jamie Vardy in the overarching view of Premier League legends?
Easy top 10.
Oh,
number 9's easy.
That's so vague. That's so vague.
No, I'm not putting top 5.
In the top 10.
He's probably about 8th or 9th.
What? Jamie fucking Vardy in the top 10 strikers.
Yes.
What are we fucking doing?
Right, so Henry, let's break it down. Who's ahead of him?
Right.
So Henry,
Wayne Rooney, Alan Shearer, Didier Drogba, Robbie Fowler.
Hang on. First of all, slow down. Let's slow down. Listen, if you treat your missus like this, she's divorcing you within a year. Slow down. Take your time. Foreplay. Right. It's foreplay. First of all,
who did I say again?
Why have you put Robbie Fowler above Jamie Vardy?
Much better footballer for
starters. Yeah, he is. Robbie Fowler's above.
Okay, but let's just not say it. Break it down. What's he better than? What's he better than?
Goal scorer for one, because he's got more Premier League goals.
Right.
He's a better all-round footballer. I just don't think Jamie Vardy.
You're giving me nothing specific here. Give me something specific.
He's a better goal scorer. There you go. He scored more goals in the Premier League in a much worse Liverpool team than Leicester's Kante, bloody Riyad Mahrez, and every.
Hang on. So you think the Liverpool teams that Robbie Fowler played in were worse by? Hang on, let me finish talking. Were worse by and large than the Leicester teams that Vardy played in. You're talking the one season with Mahrez and Kante, by the way, the one season.
Yeah, but that's what everyone looks at his season, because when they won the league title.
I mean, he won a league cup.
That is the season. Andy Cole's a better number 9. Multiple league titles at Man United. White York's better number 9. Didier Drogba, multiple titles and a Champions League.
Robbie Fowler not winning, not being. Listen, Robbie Fowler played in some brilliant Liverpool teams. I am not going to have that those early mid-90s Liverpool teams weren't very good teams. They fucking were. They were very good teams.
For argument's sake,
hang on. Please let me finish my question. They were teams that were tipped in multiple seasons to win the league. They were seen as top-class sides. He didn't deliver in title races for that Liverpool team. Or did he? Or did he not? Educate me on this. We saw Jamie Vardy deliver in a title race that everybody expected the team to fall off from. Why, in your opinion, does that not hold more weight in him being a key figural part in one of the greatest title-winning sides ever?
I mean, look. I mean, he didn't win the league title with Liverpool. So I'll give you Robbie fucking Fowler. But I'm
not saying I'm right.
Fowler's a better striker than Vardy.
Please, let's not do this. Guys, sorry. Let's all stop a minute. I want to have a debate. I'm not even saying, for everyone in the comments crying their eyes out, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm playing devil's advocate. But I want more than just he was a better football player. Let's break down why.
Vardy's main attribute was probably his desire and his speed.
Yeah,
and I think we've seen, since he's lost his speed, he's been nowhere near the striker that he was. And I think we've ultimately seen that since Leicester lost players that helped carry that. Hang on, Tom. Since Leicester lost players that carried them to a title, Vardy and his Leicester have got nowhere near it. And they've been in more relegation battles. And they've been in top 4 battles.
And he's been relegated twice.
Yeah. Vardy is not. Vardy don't even get in top 20 for me. And
come on.
Right.
No.
You can list 10 from a generation when the Premier League started to like 2002. You can find another 20,
Dan. Who are the 20? Top of your head, Dan. Who are the 20 strikers that you put above Jamie Vardy? Let's hear it.
Can I go on, we're have to count here, and I'm going to need some help. But let's go with Shearer, Kane, Aguero, Drogba, Fowler, Andy Cole,
Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham,
Dwight York, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Lukaku's better than Vardy,
Wayne Rooney.
Oh God, I'm not having Lukaku above Vardy. Get a grip,
Sergio
man.
Aguero.
Yeah, we said. I don't know if we're repeating
Jermaine
names
Defoe's
here,
a better number 9.
Nicholas Anelka is a better
yeah.
player than
Hang
Jamie
on,
Vardy.
hang on.
Get a grip.
Jermaine Defoe.
Yes, he's got
Jermaine
162
Defoe's
Premier League
Defoe's
goals.
better than Vardy.
100 how many?
He's got 162
because they're
Premier
going
League
too
goals,
far.
25 more than Vardy.
In
Playing for
how many games?
496 playing for
How-
Portsmouth and Spurs.
Okay. How many
We're on
games
15,
did
by the
Vardy?
way.
How
Robin
many games?
Van Persie.
Guys, we haven't finished yet. How many games did Vardy do it in?
Like 200 something.
380,
Vardy's
yeah,
played over 300
338.
Premier League games.
So how many games is that? What's the difference there?
130 odd.
So 130 games less.
No,
Playing for
it's 158 games difference between them.
Oh,
So 158 games
Playing
difference.
much
And
worse teams.
hang on, no, again, Leicester had a couple of seasons where they were this top team, but they were relegation battle the first year he was here. They were not. They've not. Let's not pretend that Leicester were always one of the top teams in England. That is a complete overstatement. Spurs had Spurs probably had more years where they were a better team than Leicester in Defoe's career.
Even that
They also
Pompey
had
team
more
Defoe
players to
played in.
share the goal load, Terry. Leicester have only relied on Jamie Vardy to score their goals. Robbie Keane, does that not spring to mind? Berbatov at moments.
right.
Peter
But
Crouch.
the best
Like,
striker-
they've scored goals. Even
best
Darren
striker's
Ben
still
scored
got-
goals at
the be-
Spurs. They're all in the
the best
hundreds.
Aaron
striker-
Baines got 100
But
Premier
hold
League
on,
goals.
Yeah.
right? So if we're gonna be,
What
if
are
we're
you
gonna do
doing
that,
here? Vardy was
Leicester-
completely relied upon at
Leicester
Leicester to
City-
score goals, and every time they were in the league, he was their main catalyst for goals, pretty
Leicester
much.
City had the Riyad
That's why his
Mahrez
numbers
who'd
are so
bag
good.
goals. They had James Madison who'd bag goals. If I was
Look,
to pick
Vardy
through it,
never
I could
got a
pick- I
move
could go
for a
fine.
reason, Tom. Never
Jamie
got a
Vardy
move
could
for a
have.
reason.
Jamie Vardy could have went to
Loyalty.
Arsenal in 2016.
You show loyalty.
He turned down.
No,
and
he
moved to
hasn't
Arsenal.
shown loyalty. He has not shown loyalty to Leicester. He
Dan,
hasn't. He
Dan,
never got his
Dan,
move.
Well, we are
games
we
is
are
he on?
going to be.
Guys,
we are
can we do
going
one,
to be.
can we do one at a
15.
time here? The viewers are going to struggle to hear. Go on,
And
Tom.
he scored.
We are going to be brutally honest here, and we are going to look at Jamie Vardy's career. He came into the Premier League at 27. In his first season, he scored near on 10 goals as part of one of the greatest escapes from relegation of all time. Second season, breaks the Premier League record for most goals in consecutive games, en route to winning a Premier League title at 5,000 to 1. Next couple seasons, he's consistently bagging anywhere from 15 to 20 goals, up until 1920, where he wins the Premier League Golden Boot at 31. For the Leicester team that finishes 5th, it should have finished 5th, but it finishes 5th. Next year, it finishes 5th again. He gets another season where he's getting close to 15, 20 goals. Wins an FA Cup. The year that he struggles with injuries, Leicester fall down to 13th. The year Leicester sell all the players and they're not creating the chances for Vardy, relegated. Captains them, is the top scorer en route to coming back to the Premier League as champions this season. In arguably one of the worst Premier League teams I've ever seen, he is still the top scorer. This is a man who has scored over 150 goals for a Leicester team where his top strike partner across the whole time has been Shinji Okazaki.
Okay. Darren Bent has got 106 Premier League goals at Sunderland, Spurs, and Villa and Charlton.
Again, but you've got hang on a minute, hang on. But what you're doing that's disingenuous, right? Is you're forgetting when Defoe and Bent were at Spurs. Look at the strike partners they had compared to what Vardy had.
Okay, but that's only one of his clubs, Terry. Who did he have at Sunderland when he got bladed 21?
He had Asamoah Gyan, Danny Welbeck.
Oh, Asamoah Gyan. I mean, we've not even
mentioned
mentioned
what you're talking about. You can't do this thing, right? It's even when you mention Portsmouth. So when you mentioned Defoe and Portsmouth, that was the Portsmouth team that won the FA Cup. That was when
he wasn't in that team.
Okay, when did he go Portsmouth then?
He went. So that was the year after he went. And then he went back to Spurs.
The point I'm making is that was in that area and time where the club was winning. Cool. That was when that club was spending so much money before FFP was a thing that it almost went bankrupt. They had a really good team, Portsmouth, at that point. Let us not make up lies. Okay, I remember they had a very good team. You can say Defoe's better, but what I'm not going to allow in the debate is Defoe played in pure shit teams and he scored loads of goals. Defoe's Tottenham teams and even the Portsmouth team he were in, had lots of decent players in them and good support. Come on now. He was playing with Peter Crouch, weren't he? At both of them.
Okay.
All right, let me just add this. I think he should be like anywhere between 13 to like 20. That's where he should be, because I'm looking at the first 10. I think the majority, like 3 Man United players get in for me very easily. Rooney, Cantona, what do you call it? Would you put both York and Cole, or would you just
and Van Persie
and
Van Nistelrooy? They're all in the top 10.
You got like 5 Man United players. I'm putting Aguero in there. I'm putting Shearer in there. I'm putting Pogba in there. Are we putting
sorry,
I've got a list of 20 players. I've got a list of 20 players.
Don't even do that
now.
Are you really about to say that Vardy's better than Van Persie?
One second.
That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy.
My question is...
Wait, hold on. 1 second again. Van Persie scored 31 goals or 32 goals for a shit Arsenal team, got a big move in the summer, and I keep saying, Terry doesn't like when I say that, and I said he carried that United team to a 28th league title, back-to-back seasons. Not to mention his talent or anything, because he's way more talented than Vardy is. But he goes from that team. Imagine being the top goal scorer for that shit Arsenal team that year. The team that we beat 8-2, by the way. That's how bad that team was. And then we take him and he wins the Golden Boot again, and we win the league because of it.
Again,
how are we going to just disregard him?
I am not hearing any debates about, look at how shit his team is. When Jamie Vardy was in a Leicester team, that had Robert Huth and Wes Morgan as a centre-back partnership for 3 years.
So let me ask you this, Tom. Let me ask you this.
But Dan,
let me ask you this.
That Arsenal team and pick apart good players they had.
No, let me ask you. No, 1 second. They didn't really have good players that season. I'll tell you what. They didn't even have a Mahrez or a Kante that season. Okay, but we usually regard to that Leicester season as one of the weakest Premier League seasons that we ever seen, and it's facts because the whole top 6 was shit. When United won it, the whole top 6 wasn't shit. Now here's the question that I'm asking you: as good as Vardy was, and I know that he won the Golden Boot, how come he wasn't the what's it called, the PFA winner of the year? How come was it Morris? How come when every time they interview someone from that Leicester generation and they ask who was the most important team to that team, they always say Kante, and that's not to dismiss him, but he's regarded as the third man in that big 3. So how are we going to act like
he's not regarded as the third man though, because he won the Football Writers Player of the Year that year. He won Premier League Player of the Year that year. He won Premier League Player of the Year that year.
You know something? Dan might be right.
He won the Premier League Player of the Year that year.
I'll read out my list, and then you'll go, "Oh yeah, fair."
No,
that's what. Just before Dan reads his list out, where did you rank him? Did you say 8th? I
said anywhere from 8th to 10th.
He's in
the top 10. He's in the top
10. I could name 10 players right now that are much better.
Sorry, Vardy's the 15th top scorer in Premier League history.
Guys, let me just jump in, because I'm not even saying I disagree or agree with any of these points. I'm playing devil's advocate as host. When you say better football player, I think that's a separate conversation. We're talking about legendary status here. Okay. So again, Harry Kane is a better football player than Jamie Vardy, but Jamie Vardy is a superior Premier League legend to Harry Kane.
Okay, we'll take Kane out
then. Hang on a minute, Gal. So I want to make sure I'm framing this right. Yes, your ability plays a part in that, but surely, just devil's advocate, what he did to help a team pull off one of the greatest seasons ever, does that not lift him above, for instance, like on this league? Like on this list, legend-wise,
he is. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
And I'll tell you what. Of course, listen. He contributed to one of the best Premier League seasons we ever seen. Like in terms of like a Cinderella story. Of course, we're always going to remember that. I always say the important criteria are when you judge players head to head. You always go the first 3 things I go to before we look at trophies. I look at longevity, I look at peak, and I look how long your peak was. Harry Kane, at this moment, as we're speaking, he is still in his peak. Yes, he didn't win anything because of Spurs, but we always troll Spurs. I promise you, if you swap them and you would have put Kane in that Leicester team and you put Vardy in that team, we'd be saying the same thing. We'd be making fun of Vardy, saying, "Oh, he didn't get anything in the Premier League because he played for Spurs." However, Kane did it for Leicester. Kane has been a consistent top 2 striker in the league.
That's not necessarily true, though.
10 years now.
That's not necessarily true, because we saw Jamie Vardy in a title race stand up and score. The year that Spurs were in the title race, right? Ironically, with Leicester, if Vardy was scoring the goals in those games and winning the matches, Spurs might have won the league.
And I promise you, at the back of my head right now, without even knowing, if you compare those 2 seasons, Kane had more goals that season where they didn't win than Vardy.
Again, but let me explain what I'm coming from. You also have to look at the fact that look at the semi-finals and the finals that he played in. There's an argument to say Jamie Vardy may have delivered in those games. I get your point about longevity and peak, and Harry Kane's amazing in that regard. But if that was how the criteria of the debate was, then I'd side with you. But of course, we're talking about how we all judge people. I do look at players that help their team get over the line. I don't even think that Leicester team that won the league was as good as Harry Kane's Tottenham team. I think Harry Kane's Tottenham team was what? Listen, they had three players in Kante, Vardy, and Mahrez who were top class. But they had a centre back pairing of Robert Huth and Wes Morgan.
No one else in that Leicester team went on to do anything.
But again, sorry.
No one else in that Leicester team after the Leicester season. No. I'm saying outside of Mahrez and Kante.
So you agree with me?
Yeah. Tottenham team was better. Outside that Leicester team, no one else went on to do anything.
What did Vardy go?
What do you mean? Kante went to Chelsea right away.
He didn't exactly go on.
Outside of Mahrez and Kante, no one else in that Leicester team went on to do anything.
Yeah, because they weren't that level. Like Vardy wasn't that level. He was just reliable.
The point I'm making is put him in number 3 in that team.
I think that Tottenham team, squad-wise, was better than that Leicester team. Harry Kane was part of that side that failed to win the league against that team. And I think in terms of legacy, that has to go against you and go for Jamie Vardy.
Yeah,
I don't
legacy
think that's
doesn't bump him that much higher, Terry, because all these other players have got serious legacies as well.